Danja Kaskanuye Ta'anman Kwitsanije Kwanlin Ninje Kwichin K. My name is John from Ta'an, Lake Barge, and I live here in Whitehorse. I'm reading a book that my mom, Nachela Bunbury, and sorry. Angela Sidney, Louise Smith, Nachela Hazel Bunbury, Emma Ina Shorty, Sophie Smarch, Rondell Bill, Johnny Smith, Rachel Dawson, and other elders from the Kwalendon and surrounding area have done together. It took them almost 2 years to do up this book, but they didn't give a digital copy out. So if you'll excuse my crude cigarette smoking voice, I'm going to read this book. Our elders tell of how the world began long ago. Spring is the time of birth and new beginnings. Our elders tell how the world began long ago when the land, waters, peoples, and other living beings came to be. Their stories teach about our matrilineal moieties, Kajet, raven or crow, and Agunda, wolf, and how we should hold up our people through respect, harmony, and proper behavior. Our worldview today is based on these ancestral beliefs, passed down through countless generations. The stories told in our Tagish, Southern Shoshone, Northern Shoshone, and Tlingit languages are integral parts of our identity. They guide our actions toward animals, the land, and other people. This is how we understand our world. This chapter presents stories in each of our languages, told in the traditional way first. English translations provided underneath each word or phrase illustrated the way our language expresses meaning, which is followed by an English internship of the story. Une di ma stu. Angela Sidney. Angela Sidney, known as Ni de Ma in Tagish and Stu in Tlingit, was born near Tagish, 1902. Her mother, Shaus Tla Tagish, Kaks Inishi Tlingit, Maria Johns, was of the Daishitan clan of inland Tlingit. You'll have to excuse me, I don't speak Tlingit or Tagish, so I probably pronounce those words wrong. I most likely pronounced those words wrong. They are descended from coastal Tlingit and Agoon, Alaska. Her father was Hundaeli Tagish Inik Tlingit. John of Duckwa Ed. Angela spoke Tagish and Tlingit fluently, and knew Sundashoni and English languages as well. She lived in Carcross and Tagish as a child, traveling extensively with her family, hunting, trapping, and fishing around the big lakes in the southern Yukon. She was a renowned storyteller who traveled to southern Canada to share her stories, knowledge, and was one of the founders of the Yukon International Storytelling Festival in Whitehorse. She passed away in 1991. Quoda. Okay, I'm just going to read the English part because I can't read this part. Long ago, they grew up. They stayed together. His young brother, with one woman, they stayed with her. At that time, it was getting to be fall. At that time, they stayed there. They were preparing to go. Snowshoes for them he made. Well, he gave her that evening. Hide, white, she brought out caribou hide. White. She wrapped it that time. She put it above her pillow. Undo yourself then, she said. In the morning, when they woke up, it was undone. It will happen like that all the time. His younger brother, you make it repeatedly, how is it going to be? Even so, his younger brother's snowshoes he went to go get. He brought them. That he made it. Well, he made it. He gave them to her. Then his wife, he gave them to her. Again, then hide white his pillow. She placed on. Undo yourself then, she said to it. In the morning, when they woke up, they had undone themselves. It's like that all the time. In the winter, again, older brother doesn't know snowshoes they made for her. One place they stayed just along forward she was growing. Somehow, person, child, with she was. Leaf, moon, or May. You two go away now. For me, you are making it hard. Not person I am, she said. Not human I am. Go away. Above is an illustration of a snowshoe. Traditional snowshoes still used today with detailed webbing. In the Tagish language, Angela Sidney, who told the game mother story on my occasions throughout her long life, she said that she first heard the story in 1912. This version was transcribed phonetically by Victor Gala. Patrick Moore wrote and edited the text in Tagish. He reviewed the text with Angela Sidney's daughter, Ida Kalmigan, who provided assistance with Tlingit words and English translation. James Crippen provided interpretation for the Tlingit words, and Tlingit and English words in the text written in italics 3. In this picture, or in this next page, it shows a picture of a caribou. Not far, you, plural, watch me. You think for. And then not far from they watched her. And then Moose came out. His horns. She told him to come back, Bull Moose, also his horns from him. She took his teeth also. Bear's teeth looks like bear's teeth from him. She took. That after so, then cow moose. Also that then caribou. Just the same way she did like his horns. Put them away. Then your horns not just always you wear it. She told him, her children. Moose also, caribou also. That after mountain sheep also. That one also, his teeth exist. His leaves she gave him. Moose leaves his food, for it is leaves. Caribou also caribou lichen. It is called, she gave it to him. Your food it is, she said. And then mountain sheep from focus she was sleeping from then. Beside it, the area cert grass she gave him then. So the first picture I said was a caribou. The second picture is a sheep. The third picture is a herd of 2 caribou. Second page is a picture of lichen. What looks like those little blackberries or mossberries that you could only find up in the mountains. Facing top, caribou at Tagish. Facing center, a Dall sheep in Kluane Range. Facing bottom, on a ridge, Primrose Lake, 2 caribou. Second page is a picture of caribou lichen, also known as caribou moss. Below that, actually, I don't know why it says that, mossberry or crowberry, or sometimes known as blackberry. This also your food, for it is you, she told him. That grass she gave to him, that after fireplace, from the ashes he licked. And then mountain goat, different animal, they call it that one too, his food, for she gave him. After that, then last, one thing focus, bear came out, that one too. Berries, she gave him berries, blackberries, mossberries. His teeth, he held on to them. Don't, mother, don't. What with I will be to have, he said to her. Not people for your teeth I gave you, she said to him. People, you must love them. Don't be mean, those people, she said to him. That after wolf still, wolf. Wolf came out, after that focus on it. A year passed. Swing for them, also she put. Swing moose, bull moose hide. Moose for them. This swing she put up. Its rope, facing the water, Gray Ridge. To it was tied, first one. Forehead, blowing Caribou Mountain. After that, focus the third Caribou Mountain, Nares Mountain. That after, Tlingit word for mountain. Gopher mountain. 2. It is tied to. And then moose, that toward I walk. That song with her sings. What small people put up the swing. What small people put up the swing. To it, I'm going, somebody sees me. And then the song repeats. Cow moose, also her calf. She has already that one at that time, so that for she sang her calf. For all one each it toward they got. She played with them, her children, all. After from them she left finally, she was tired out. That's so that Gopher Mountain, above Gopher Mountain. That there, then, she can't. That after she woke up, then next day, caribou worms, Sir Q. It's called, that's where she camps. She must be, her place exists. Not well she slept. First one on, it is close by. Again she lay down again. For it is in 2 places. Her place exists. Caribou worms, mountain on. That from she took off, following it is Teslin. Lone sheep, 3 acres mountain near Teslin. 1 sheep it is called. Mountain that place, last one. From there she went to where, then last not I know. Here from not I know. That is all I know. English interpretation. Long ago, 2 brothers lived with a woman. It was getting to be fall time. They were preparing to go. The younger brother made snowshoes for them. He made them well, and in the evening he gave them to his wife. She brought out white hide and white caribou hide. She wrapped the snowshoes in the hide and put it on her pillow. Undo yourselves, she told them. The snowshoes. In the morning when they woke up, the snowshoes were undone. This happened repeatedly. The older brother said to his younger brother, "What's the use of making them?" Even so, his younger brother went to get snowshoes. He brought them back. He made them well. He gave them to her. He gave them to his wife. Again, she put the white hide and placed them above her pillow. Undo yourselves, she told them. In the morning, when they woke up, they had undone themselves. It was like that all the time. In the winter time, they made snowshoes for her. They were staying at one place, and she was growing bigger and bigger. She was pregnant. In May, she told her husband, "Go away now. You are making it hard for me. I'm not like the other people," she told them. "I am not like the other people. Go away. If you want, you can watch me from nearby." They watched her from nearby. Then Moose came out, was born. She told him to come back, and she took his horns and his teeth. His teeth were like bears, and she took those from him. She did the same with the horns of cow moose and then caribou. Put your horns away. Don't wear them all the time, she told her children, moose and caribou. And after that sheep, that one, Sheep Mountain, also had teeth. She gave him leaves to eat. Leaves. Leaves were the food for the moose, caribou too. She gave him caribou lichen. That's your food, she told him. Then from right beside where she was sleeping, she gave mountain sheep the grass that was growing there. This your food, she told him. She gave him grass. After that, he licked the ashes from the fireplace. And then mountain goat, a different animal, that one too, she gave him his food. After that, at the end, that last thing, bear came out. She gave him berries, moss berries. He wouldn't give up his teeth though. I lost myself. Don't, mother, don't. What will I have left? He said to her. I don't give you your teeth to use on people, she told him. You have to love people. Don't be mean to those people, she told him. After that, Wolf was still to be born. Then Wolf came out. After that year passed. She put up a swing for them. She put up a big trampoline for them made of moose hide, bull moose hide. The first rope was tied to Bray Ridge. The next was to Caribou Mountain. After that, the third was to Nares Mountain. After a rope was tied to the Montana Mountain, then Moose said, I'll walk toward it. He means a trampoline. Sings Bull Moose song. Cow Moose already had a calf. At that time, she sang for her calf. I don't know if I'm singing the song. Mother played with each of her children. Then finally she was tired out. She camped above Montana Mountain. After she woke the next day, she camped at Cirque on Mount Lanning. And her impression must still be there. She didn't sleep well at first, so she lay down against close by. That's why there are two places of her impressions that was made on. From there, she took off toward Teslin. Tagish 3 acres, it's called. That was the place she rested. Where she went there, I don't know. I don't know what happened from there. That's all I know of it. Louis Smith of the Crow clan was born 1932 on the Teslin River, Dog Salmon Slough. His mother was Mary Smith from Little Salmon area and the daughter of Big Salmon, Charlie. His father, Charlie Smith, was from Lake Labarge area. Family set fish nets and Dog Salmon Slough in the summer. They also had a cabin at Winter Crossing and a home in Whitehorse. Louis has learned many different skills throughout his life: trapping, hunting, fishing. His parents later working as a laborer in Whitehorse, on the waterfront and on highway construction. He and his brothers all played fiddle, guitar, and holding dances at his father's home in Whitehorse. From his early years, Louis listened to his father and other elders, telling their traditional stories in their language, along with the history of the reign of their travels. Today, Louis continues to delight people with his fiddle and his stories. generously sharing his knowledge with anyone who wants to learn. Your presence, I'll tell story. I think / wish. Maggie Brown it about. She told child I was when. Maggie Brown, Jim Boss, his older sister, I was. That raven about. That raven it was black, and it was flying around at first. It came up when water only there was. Water everywhere. It was flood. It was flood on earth, she said. Ocean flooded it was. Done. That raven about talking not water for made it was. That raven not water for made. Flying about for it made it. It was. Flying around when no land, when no to land on existed, water only there was. Alone flying around, when his wings it became sore. Water in, I will, I might die, I might drown, it thought. In vain it flew around land, for it looked around when suddenly white small object he saw on water, or water on. What is it moving about that? Let me see it. Let it thought. It was gull. It was. It knew gull. It was there swimming about. It knew gull could diving. There, gull, in reference to a seagull, by the way. Water under breath, it could. Then gull, grass, and mud in its mouth, with brought up bottom area from. Island tiny, it for, it made it. Lots of water weeds. Also with it floated, and then island little, it floated. Gull babies, it was going to have, pretty soon. No, it wants water on they born, there. Land on. Island tiny, on they were born. Gull, little, was raising them. Gulls little, raven close by, it flew by when it said, what you got there? What you got that there? What on top? You are sitting there. I made it. It's me. Bottom area from. Mud from. Raven thought, I'll ask it, I will. Raven asked her, island small, can you me for you make? Will? I am tired, she said. My wings played out. Gull said, no, not. I'm going to do that. Then I might, Raven. What should I do? I will with that, Gull. Oh, I know what I'm going to do there. It's young, many there are. Raven saw it. Gulls small, soon as gulls small, he grabbed one. Raven, gopher, and rabbits picked up like gull young, it picked it up. Gull little, it picked it up. Your little one, I'm taking it. Not you, too, I'm giving it back. Land, me, to you give. Me, then to I'll give it back, will. Gull flew after it. In vain she tried to ask it. After a long time they flew about, as finally Gull said, My little one, you might lose it. Then finally said, yes. Land, I will give it to you. Give it back. Water bottom to you, for it, I'll get it. After a long time, for it waited a while. That there. Then Gull finally came up. Its beak, with soil it carried it. Water weeds too. Water on it let them go. Then Gull said, here, your object. It is. Different place you make it, not close by. Raven said it. Yes, good. I think it is. That is it. I wanted it. It is. Now own land on. Island little, it became. On it sat Raven. Then he fixed things up, and now it is. English interpretation. I want to tell you a story of Lake LaBarge and Maggie Bourne. It's Jim Boss' sister. When I was a kid, I heard that story she'd tell us about it. About crow, you know those crow, the black ones that fly around, and the seagull too. When they first came through this part of the area, there was this part of the area all right, but just nothing but water. Which is true. About 200 million years ago, the Lake LaBarge area was actually under the ocean. I found some seashells in the area up on the mountainside. Pretty cool. Anyway, she tell us about it. Crow, you know those crows, the black ones flying around, and the seagull too. When they first came to this part, there was this part all right, but nothing but water. That's what she say. It's the ocean, lots of water everywhere. So, well, that crow, that raven, that's what I'm talking about, sorry. He don't make for water, that raven. Well, they made it just to fly around, and so they sit on top of trees, on top of hills like that. Over there, on the side of the cliffs, sit down on top of that, in the tree. Then he making that noise. Go, 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 he says. He want to fly around. Then where he got that place is nothing but water. He got no place to land. Next thing, he flying around just by himself, but you see that arm get played out. Not that arm, a wings. All old, played out. Pretty soon, he gonna go down to that water down there. He don't want to fall in that water there. He's gonna drown. So he's flying around everywhere. Pretty soon, they see some kind of little white mark in the water. So he want to see what that is. That was moving around there, moving his head. It was a seagull. Yeah. He knows. He knows the seagull could swim around in the water and dive in there too. Seagull could stay a long time underwater. And he dive in. What he did get a little piece of grass on the ground. He picked it up from down at the bottom. Got it in his mouth to bring it up over there. And he fixed a little. He put it together pretty soon around a little round little thing like that. He make a ground there. There he start free floating. That thing, lots of grass. Lots of little bit, and he float. So because he gonna have a baby pretty soon. Well, he can't. You can't have it in the water. So he had it in that little ground, something like a little island, and he was growing up little ones. Little one, little seagull. Then the crow, flying right close to that seagull. Then he tell him, hey seagull, what do you got there? What do you sit on top there? He said. Oh, he said, I make it, he says. I make it myself. I got it from the bottom of the ocean. Then he fly around. What shall I do with that, seagull? Do you figure? Well, I'm going to ask him. Hey, seagull, he said, would you build me just all played out? I don't want to hit the water. I don't know how to swim either. So seagull says, no, I'm not doing that. Well, he think you're not going to do it? And then he think about, what shall I do there, small little one? See it, little one, walking around everywhere so far, where he could get a chance? That little one over there, that little seagull looking. After little one's there, one of them seagulls walking around over there, small little one. The crow got his chance then, so he just dived like an eagle. He want to catch rabbits or gophers, just woof, just like that. That's what he did. He picked up that little seagull. What are you going to do with it? Seagull said. Well, I'm going to take this little one. I'm not going to give it back. You got to give me that ground, he told him. Then I give it to you back. The crow and the seagull follow him all over the place. Then they flew around lots of places. And he kept on beg him, flying. Finally he said, okay. He says, pretty soon they're going to lose that little one. And the seagull says, okay, I get you some kind what I got there. I gotta go down in the ocean on the bottom. Give me back. Okay, put him back on that little island then. So he put him back on that little island, and he watched. I think the little seagull, they stay right on the little island, a little world. Then pretty soon the seagull gone long time. He just wait there. He just give him that little seagull back already, so he waited there, looking for seagull. Finally he came out. I got this, he said. Okay, here. He took it out of his mouth. Chunk of dirt, a little bit grass on the bottom. He put him on top of that little island. Okay, this yours now, he said. Go fix someplace else, not too close. Go a long ways. Yeah, okay, he says. Thank you, he says. That's all I wanted. Now while he's on top of the world, that little island that he fixed in there, he put a lot of little creek, like river and small little creek. Then he fix it. No, just like God. When God says you want something, that's done, and you come into a lake. He said then that thing, it started to grow like little lake. How shall I put a fish in there? Then he tried to look around for a fish. Next. Then they got a fish. And the fish scale got him in his mouth. So then he find that little fish. He took the little scale out. Okay, I want this here. I want these things like that. And he put him in a little lake. Grow, he says. And he started growing. And that's how come little fish in this, like in Tesin, they got a lot of fish there. So does Big Atlan, too. And even Marsh Lake, you see? Lake Labarge, Kluane, they all got fish. Well, that's how, he says. I want this here, this little island to grow, he says. And that island start to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Pretty soon, he had 1 mile that way, another mile this. Across, pretty soon, little bigger and bigger. Look how big the world is now. That's the way the story said it goes. Anyway. Nakhela Hazel Bunbury of the Agunda wolf clan was born at Ta'anmun, Lake Labarge, in the 1940s. The name Nakhela means crocus and was given to her because she was born in the spring. Her mother, Ukatsenate Irene Adamson, son, which means looking for it in her Haudenosaunee language. She was raised at Lake Labarge. Nakhela's father was John Adamson, whose mother came from Shawshey, Dalton Post, and had connections to coastal Tlingit people. Nakhela went to Horse Indian Baptist Mission School as a young child in the 1940s and 50s, but she never forgot her language and the stories of her ancestors. She worked for many years as a native language instructor in Whitehorse schools and continues to share her cultures, language, and knowledge with all whom wants to learn. Chunai ye tsirki e quander. Eagle and Crow Story, told by Nakhela Hazel Bunbury. Quade quaja ani ama chu daddy turkaner nanke. Long ago it was, she said, my mum, water flooded earth on. Aju nun quade, no land area seen. Chunai ye tsirki tada ke dakeke. Bald eagle and raven driftwood on they sat. Hlu ye tatlet yekina ayet tu kinji. Fish little and seaweed they sat, that by they lived. Shun asho ichi ethikeni. I, or me, elder I am, they said to each other. Tsirki ani Allah. Shun asho ichi. Raven said, brother-in-law, I, or me, the elder I am. Ake ani chunai aju shun asho ichi. Then said Eagle, no, no, I, the elder I am. Chunai ani shun asho ichi. Eagle said, I am the elder. Yeku ethi dakel niya. My head white, you see. Ake, I think any at uh, Thadutel, Thadutel Ni, or Ni, then said to another, Hat, let's put it on. Let's. Ma, yu ye, quagentler, a show uche she. Who it will make it get dark, the elder to be will. A turkey at thadata ke aju kwaja. Then Raven Hat put it on. When nothing happened. Shika Quadinji Kekwadechi. Shika Quadinji. That's a new word for me. Still was light out. Kathutsat ye yichi. Tried Hat down, it pulled. Shika Kekwadechi Aju Aquaja. Still light out, nothing happened. Ake chunai dethi ka tsat thadai thada. Then Eagle's head on Hat put. Dethi kai daya chu quagenitler. His head on put on, soon as it began to get dark. Ye yechi ke quagenitler. Down he pulled, and it got darker. Tsurki ani Allah. Crow said, brother-in-law. Chunai aju eats un kwekina. Eagle not him too. He spoke back to it. After a while, Quatle tsurki nivat a kwe show kijal. After a while, Crow got scared. Real loud he yelled, Allah, tladini na, a show each ana. Brother-in-law, true. You say elder you are. Akh unites at the jedata. Then Eagle Hat he began to take it off. Theyada al chu kikwadachi. Taking it off as it was, it became light out. Show Yuthan to that yera ke zenyu la kwaja. Good, took it off then. Day it become. Quaka ju quinji kanner nake. That is why it is known all over the earth. Chunaya show echi you. Eagle the elder it is that. This is one of my favorite bedtime stories as a child, told by me, by my grandma, Takake, and my mom, Ukatseneto. The story happened long ago, when the world was young. still covered with water, and the land was still being formed. Turkey and Chunai were the only creatures on earth. Turkey and Chunai were sitting on a piece of driftwood arguing about who is older of them. Turkey said, "I am the older one. Brother-in-law, I am older than you." Then Chunai said, "No, I am the older one. Can't you see the white head? I am the oldest creature on earth." They argued back and forth like this for a while as they sat on the floating wood. Finally, they decided to have a contest to see who the oldest was. The Chunai said, "You will put on a hat. If it gets dark, we put on the hat. It will prove who is the oldest." So Turkey put the hat on first, and nothing happened. He pulled that hat further down his head, and still nothing has happened. Finally, he crammed it all the way down over his head, and still nothing happened. Then Chunai put on the hat. As soon as he put it on, it became overcast. He pulled it down further on his head. It became darker and darker. When he pulled it all the way down, it became black. Black as night. And there was total silence. They sat there for a while in the darkness and silence, except for one water lapping the log. Finally, the turkey called out into the darkness, "Allah, Allah, brother-in-law." The eagle did not answer him. The raven called out again, "Allah, Allah." Still, the Chunai did not answer him. Finally, Turkey began to panic, and he yelled out loudly into the darkness, "Allah, Allah, you were right, brother-in-law. You are older. You are the oldest." The Chunai began to remove his hat, and he slowly took it off. It began to get light out again, until it was completely daylight. That's how they knew that Chunai was the oldest creature on earth. Wow. And that's it for me for now.